Hello everybody, this is Trey Parker with a Spooky Friday video. Now I'm sorry that this video is late. Like I said, I was doing homework yesterday. It's a lot of homework, it was a lot. But we got a video by Llama Arts, a college horror story animated. So let's go check this out. Please, Llama Art, do not copyright me. I'm a fan of your channel. I like watching your videos, man. I really do. So, please. Let us react to this video here.
It was an early morning. My campus didn't offer housing and I lived about a half a mile from school, so I started my journey as usual while playing on my phone. I glanced up to see an old man heading towards me on a bicycle. Normally, I'd step aside to let bikers and skaters pass, but he braked instead. I stopped too, wondering if there was something wrong. He walked up to me and said, "Don't worry, I'm not gonna hurt you."
Okay. Hold up. Who the heck walks up to somebody and says some stuff like that? You're going to automatically think this person's going to hurt you. And you know what's so funny? There actually are stories like that happen on college campuses where some random old guy or old woman or whatever just walks up to a random student on campus, and you know, it's crazy. Like 2 years, I believe 2 years ago, or was it a year and a half ago, that there was like a incident where one of the girls on campus almost got kidnapped by some group of mid-40 guys. I can't remember. There's a lot of crazy stuff to be happening on campus, college campuses.
I just looked up at him with a fearful and confused expression. I was gathering up the courage to tell him that I was late for class and I should go, but before I could say anything, he said, "Get off the grass!" Looking down, I noticed I'd stepped over towards the road and onto the grass. I stepped off slowly and he said, "You wouldn't want to step on any bugs or get your shoes dirty now, would you?"
What?
He raised his finger and asked me what my name was. I told him, and he replied, "Don't worry, I'm not gonna hurt you."
Hey man, give me 50 feet. That's what I tell them.
Again, but before I could say anything, the man said, "Get off the grass. You wouldn't want to step on any bugs or get your shoes dirty now, would you?" I looked down to see that I was back on the edge of the sidewalk again. This had to be deja vu. He asked for my name once more. I said my name again, but he interrupted me before I could finish. He told me his grandchildren are down the road and needed gas money. I told him I didn't have any spare change, or any change at all for that matter. He continued to ask me again, and I gave him the same answer. Eventually, I headed towards my school. I turned to see if he was still there, but he was gone. As I was walking, I approached the intersection. There was a truck on its side. It must have tipped over while turning the corner.
Oh, dude. What? Llamas?
If you want to help support the channel, head on over to the brand new Llama Arts merch store. It has new stuff available like updated t-shirt designs, a
Advertising your gear, huh?
episode, an
Wow.
embroidered hoodie, a llama pin, and even a llama plushie. All of these items can be found at crowdmade.com. Links are in the description.
Well, if you guys want to buy that, I mean, well, I don't know.
DoorDash has the restaurants you crave at your fingertips.
All right,
Download DoorDash.
there's a video I saw. There's a video I saw at it's down here somewhere. Ah, here we go. Here we go. Draw the life tic tac. Let's see here. It's another one I saw earlier. Wait, it's not here anymore. It's not. Oh, here it is. Thriller Teller. Okay, we're gonna check that out later. We're gonna pick this one. Wait, why is my camera upside down?
Welcome to a new Draw My Life video. Kuchisake Onna is a famous Japanese legend about a woman who, after being killed, comes back as a yokai, or an evil spirit, to
Pretty
take
much, yeah.
revenge. The story goes, a long time ago, there was a woman who was as beautiful as big-headed. She was so beautiful that she was courted by many men. Out of all her suitors, she decided to marry an important samurai. But the rest of the suitors didn't give up. At first, she wouldn't pay attention to them, but her husband had to go to war, and she soon started feeling very lonely.
Oh my God! Seriously?
The charms of one of the suitors. Her husband.
Look. Let me. Your husband is at war. He is putting his life on the line to protect his country and to protect you. How selfish can you be? You cannot wait till he gets home. Oh Lord! It's like going to college and you got a wife at home and kids, and you're going to college to have a better career or whatever, and she's doing the same thing. Can't wait for you to get back home or something like that. See, women that does no offense, women that does that, they're being selfish. You know what I'm saying? It's not just them; it's the guy too. They're waiting to come home while you're waiting for them to come home. So there's no difference. You know what I'm saying? I don't know why. I just don't get it. I just don't get why people do that stuff. You know what I'm saying? Back then, it's all about selfishness. Just keep watching this.
For too long, and she was the prettiest woman in town. Tired of waiting for him, she decided she could do as she wanted. So she kept on with her relationships with the different suitors, who were richer, more powerful, and stronger each time. But as we all know, rumors fly, and the samurai ended up hearing a story about a beautiful woman who would only accept the strongest men that went after her. When he heard this story, the samurai, a very proud man, felt really curious about the girl, even though he was married. One day, the samurai went back home and he went out for some drinks with his friends.
I don't think he was curious. I don't think he was curious. I think he was kind of skeptical. I think he was kind of skeptical.
Celebrate his comeback. The party went on till late at night when one of his friends told him, "Do you remember the woman I told you about? She lives nearby." And the samurai, self-confident, decided to go and court the pretty lady. The closer he got to the place, the more familiar it seemed, but he was under the influence of alcohol. Suddenly, they stopped opposite a nice red door, and his friend said, "It's here." But the samurai was speechless. He didn't say a word, and the friend teased him. "What now? Are you gonna buck up?" The samurai, very serious now, answered, This is my house." He then went in, kicking the door, ran to his bedroom, and found his wife with another man. The woman's face turned white after seeing that. All of a sudden, her husband had taken a sword through the man, and as he was taking it out of his back, the samurai asked her, "Do you think you're beautiful?" Then he held her strongly, put the sword in her mouth, and full of jealousy, cut her mouth, while the lady wouldn't stop screaming. People say the woman turned into an evil spirit, the Kuchikaneona, who came back to the world thirsty for revenge. She looks like a completely normal woman, and she hides her wounds by wearing a mask, something really common in Japan. Lots of people wear it to protect themselves from different diseases. Kuchisake Onna wanders around the streets looking for victims, especially during dark and gloomy nights. She approaches them and says, "Am I beautiful?" If you're carried along by her beauty and you answer yes, she will slowly take her mask off, letting you see her horrible scars, and then she will ask again, "And now, am I beautiful?" If the victim gets scared, screams, or says no, the woman will cut their mouth using some big scissors, imitating her scars. The victim will bleed to death. The wounds caused by Kuchisake Onna can never be healed. Others say if you answer yes to both questions, but showing you are afraid, the evil spirit will go with you to the door of your house and will stab you to death there. However, if you answer yes twice, calmly and without fear, the woman will give you a blood-stained rupee and then leave. Though they all agree on this, Kuchisake Onna will leave you alone if, when she asks you for the first time, you say that you don't have time. She will apologize and you will continue your way. The Japanese legend of Kuchisake Onna is said to have very old origins, but it came back to light in 1996 with the movie Gakkoi no Kaidan. Since then, it was present in several Japanese movies. Though we should highlight Carved and its sequels, she also appeared in TV shows like American Horror Story, Freak Show, and Constantine.
She did.
And remember, if a
Wait,
woman
Constantine?
asks you in the street if she's beautiful, say you don't have time and don't look back. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like it. And if you want to see more Draw My Life videos, subscribe to our channel.
Okay.
See you in the next episode.
That was from Draw the Life Tic Tac. Okay.
My tank's on E, but I need to get to work. The earning app lets me access up to $100 instantly for my paycheck.
I don't trust that app. I don't know. I just have my reasons. I just don't know about that app. I heard about it, just don't trust it. What was the other video we saw? Wait, what the hell? Okay. Alright, so we're going to watch this. A caterer I hired broke into my house at night.
Olivia and her fiance threw
Hold
a
on.
dinner party.
Alright. Hold on. Alright. Now, Stephen D., please do not copyright me. I'm just reacting to your video. I think I saw one of your videos before. Dude, you make good videos, good content. So please do not copyright me, alright?
One time to celebrate his mom completing chemo. She hired a caterer and they were expecting 25 friends and family. The caterer said he'd bring everything 75% done, but he needed to finish off some dishes in their kitchen. She told him that was fine as long as he finished by 5. He arrived as scheduled at 12 p.m., but the moment he entered the house, Olivia noticed that he had a disgusting smell. That made her uneasy because he was going to be preparing food for sick prior and young kids. She just made sure he washed his hands and then left him to his own devices, worrying she was just being presumptuous. The entire time, he kept asking her about the seasoning of the food and telling her to taste it. She said, "You're the chef, so I trust you. You don't have to keep asking me." Fast forward, he was still there at 5:45. The guests were arriving, so after 2 gentle reminders, she flat out told him she needed him completely out by 6, no matter what. He apologized and said there had been a delay because Olivia's oven wouldn't stay up to temperature. She never had a problem with her oven before, but figured he's the professional, so maybe it was a subtle problem. He gets his bags and packs everything up, but suddenly heads towards her bedroom. Olivia's completely taken aback and says, "Excuse me, where are you going?" And he says, "To change." She tells him she's not comfortable with him going in her room and there's a restroom to do that. But he insisted it will only take a second and goes in and shuts and locks the door. Olivia couldn't even get a word out before he went in and felt helpless.
What the freaking heck?
She had come back home, so she explained the situation to him. Confused as to what was going on, he pounds on the door, telling the caterer to come out. The man opens the door wearing a t-shirt and jeans. Her fiancé said, "You shouldn't be in there. You need to leave." The caterer responded and said, "Excuse me, but this is not your house. It's not up to you to decide." "Yes, actually, it is. My fiancé lives here with me." Suddenly, the caterer goes nuts. He turns to her and screams, "You lied to me!" Olivia had no clue what he was talking about. He starts yelling about how she led him on and blurting nonsense, calling her disgusting names. He then goes in the kitchen and starts throwing the food out of the refrigerator and onto the floor.
What?
Hesitating, the fiancé and his 2 brothers forced him to leave the house immediately.
What the hell?
The party then went on as planned. But Olivia insisted they just order pizza and throw out all the food he made. After partying, they went out late drinking with his brothers and got home at around 3:30 a.m. and passed out in their room. And then, at around 5 a.m., Olivia was woken up to the sound of the door opening. Olivia wakes up her fiancé and whispers, I think someone just came in the house. He said, probably my brother left his wallet or something. Olivia figured she's being paranoid when suddenly a loud crash came from outside the room. He told her to lock herself in the closet and call 911 while he went out and looked around.
No, brother. No. This is equality. It's equality now. It's equality. They want equality. Let her go out and you go in the closet and hide and call for police. I'm just being honest. Let her go out. I'm just joking. I'm not serious. I'm just joking. I'm just saying. Or was I? No, I'm joking. I'm joking, guys. I can just imagine who's watching my channel like, oh my God, I can't believe he actually said that. They'll go a baseball bat for you. Oh, you took martial arts. You can actually go out there and take care of it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Being on college campus has been... Oh, goodness. Y'all wouldn't believe it. I'm going to have to film what goes on in college, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes there be some outrageous stuff that goes on. You know, you can make one little comment, someone gets a little offended by it. They get offended by it. But anyway, let's get in and watch this.
They hear, Olivia, hello? And she realizes that insane caterer. She went outside and saw the man shirtless and clearly on something. He lunges towards Olivia and her fiance stops him while she called the police. He tells him the cops have been called and it would be in his best interest for him to get off the property. The caterer says, I have to make sure Olivia's okay. Her fiance stayed between them while she climbed out the window. He even thought of taking the gun out of the safe. The caterer began to destroy their kitchen, and when the cops finally came in, they see that he has a knife on him. He didn't obey police's orders to drop his...
Yeah, he was on something.
As he's being let out in handcuffs, he's shouting out how he and Olivia...
Look. If it was a black guy, they would have pulled the gun out first. I'm just being honest. They would have pulled the gun out. They were like, screw the taser. Pull the gun out. I'm just being honest. They would probably put a couple shots in this guy. You know what I'm saying? But instead they... I know I just triggered somebody. I triggered somebody by saying that. Somebody might have a husband that's a police officer. He's probably laughing because he know I'm telling the truth.
are in love. The police asked to do an inventory of the house and see if anything's missing or damaged besides what they witnessed him do. They went around, but saw nothing. But then Olivia remembered that he was in her room. She quickly checked and found out that all her panties were gone. They were so freaked out in the aftermath that they replaced all kitchenware and they had a cleaning crew do a deep clean on the whole house. Olivia was so glad that she decided not to serve the food to the guests, especially her fiance's fragile mother. The caterer sent a letter from prison and thankfully her husband intercepted because she was still recovering from the whole thing. They gave it to the police who helped issue a no-contact order. He was sent to 3 years in prison. And
3 years?
Olivia and her family never saw him again.
3 years? Nah, dude. What the freak? But at the same time, you hear stories about that in real life, guys. But the thing is, what you need to understand, you hear stories about it on both sides, women and man. You have a woman that did the same thing, you know what I'm saying? I know if anybody has ever seen the movie called Obsessed, there'll be stuff like that actually be happening in the United States and other countries. It mostly happens in Japan, though. Or Japan or some other country. But like in America, stuff like that actually be happening. It really does. It can be somebody that you don't know. You never met them before, but they seem to know you a lot more. They know you a lot. Like they know a lot about you, and you don't know nothing about them. All right, stuff like that actually do happen, and that's what's scary. It's very, very freaking scary. All right, we're gonna watch one more by Stephen D. Doctor becomes 7 creepy. Hold on. Hold on. I have no idea. Baby was oh, this is something that can easily relate to a lot of people.
We are on track to hit a
By Stephen D. Baby taken away.
If we reduce executive salaries by just 5%, we'll get to the European markets by 2020.
Who is this?
This is Tom. I own 34 shares.
Invest.
Jen and her husband Dan were at the supermarket when their baby was being especially fussy. He took her for a 10-minute drive to calm her down and came back into the parking lot waiting for Jen to finish shopping for groceries. Dan was taking a business call and sat down absentmindedly rocking the baby when a woman approached them. It's not uncommon for people to ask to play with their baby. She's got big rosy cheeks, soft wisps of gold hair, and the most adorable grisly toothless grin. But her nap schedule was paramount, so he was preparing to tell the woman she actually couldn't play with the baby right then. She walked over, brimming with confidence, and before Dan could even finish his sentence, she picked up the carrier and started walking off.
What the fuck? What?
Excuse me, put her down. She started walking away more briskly. Dan tried to grapple the carrier out of her hands, resulting to restraining her arms. This woman yells, "Help! He's trying to take my baby! Kidnapping! 911! Help!" kicking him in the shin and pulling a pink bottle of pepper spray out of her handbag. Unsurprisingly, no one in the parking lot was clocking the earlier interaction and assumed he was really a kidnapper. Immediately, a man knocked Dan to the ground and was holding him down, telling him that the police was being called. He was telling everyone in the parking lot it's his daughter, but no one was listening. "I have pictures of the baby on my phone." This, however, didn't translate well, because everyone interpreted it as him having stalking photos of the baby. It was at this point that another man kicked Dan as hard as he could in the ribs. At this time, Jen came out of the store and she thought he was being robbed by these people. She was yelling for security, panicking, and when she saw that her baby was being held by a woman, she was relieved. Jen thought maybe her daughter was moved out of harm's way whilst her husband was being robbed. She couldn't find a security guard outside the store, and so she ran up to the people holding her husband down, waving her wallet, pleading, "Take everything you want, just leave us alone." The man said, "Lady, we need to wait for the police to deal with him." Jen was confused as to why muggers have called the police. "What do you mean? What are you talking about?" And made out someone saying, "He tried to abduct that woman's kid. Her husband would never hurt a child." She kept trying to understand what the man was saying, and suddenly, it all clicked. She looked around for the woman who had her baby, and she was halfway across the parking lot. Jen went ballistic and sprinted across right to her. All she could think to do was to grab the woman by her hair and squeeze her throat with her other arm. She yanked her hair as hard as she could, and that was enough to make her drop the carrier. She was so scared and surprised, she threw herself on top, and when she looked up, the woman left. Not one person tried to stop her, and within the next couple minutes, police had arrived. There were still several bystanders who explained it as her husband trying to kidnap the baby. The police's first questions when asking for her description weren't investigative. They were questions thinly veiled, trying to convince Jen not to pursue charges, still placing blame on her husband.
Oh my god, dude, seriously?
Was there a chance she thought he was abducting the baby and she was trying to intervene? Could your husband have been doing something inappropriate or violent to the baby?
Yo, dude, see, that's scary. That is freaking scary right there. Somebody trying to take your kid away, okay? And we have, in the United States and other countries, have incidents where a woman or some guy, most likely if I heard women do it, you know, the statistics of women taking other people's children. But look, we have incidents like that that actually happen, and stuff like that when a guy, especially if it's a guy, that's his child. He's sitting down just like what happened with them, and the person just walked up, take the baby, and take off somewhere. And he's trying to get the baby back, and then people assume, oh, yeah, he's a baby thief. He's a pedophile. No, listen to me. We have gotten to the point where we automatically assume that every single person that's like a man is a bad person. Okay? We immediately assume people who are not trying to listen. Okay? People they just expect, okay, oh, he has a picture of a child on his phone. He's a pedophile. He's been watching. He's been stalking the child. No, take heed to what he's saying and take the phone out and look through his phone. You'll see pictures of him and his child and his wife. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying I've seen an incident like this in real life at the age of 13. 13 years old, where a woman was trying to take some guy's kid while his freaking wife was inside the freaking hospital. Like, she literally, it was so weird. It was so weird. This lady walked into this room where all the other babies in there. She did not take all the other babies. She only took one specific one. One specific child, took that baby, walked out, and was like, everybody was like, hey, the baby is missing. And like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what? Seriously? Come on. People need to, in situations like those, you need to be more cautious and be more careful. People, everybody. Everybody needs to be more cautious and be more careful because you never know. Just because, and plus, that's like the Me Too movement thing. It's just similar to like the Me Too. Oh, always believe what a woman says when she cries out rape. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. Because you want to know so funny? The same woman that stole that baby from the hospital did the same thing. Help, help, some man trying to steal my baby or something like that. Like, come on, dude. Seriously? Seriously? And it wasn't even his. I mean, it wasn't even hers. It was not even her child. It was not even her child. I was in the hospital because I had, I was in the hospital that day because I was sick. I was sick. I had like a very, very bad, nasty cough. I went to go to the hospital to see what's going on with me. Dude, man, oh man. I'm not saying all women are lying. I'm just saying you have to be careful. Very, very careful. Okay? In situations like those, you have to be neutral. Be very neutral in the situation until you get a full understanding of what's going on. Okay? Some people out here are freaking crazy. They are crazy. You got women that cannot have kids of their own as much as they try. And it drives them insane to the point where they will go out and try to steal someone else's kid that they find more appealing. Okay? I'm being honest. So what I need to understand is, situations like that, yeah, be kind of somewhat hostile, but be neutral about it. Figure out what's going on, because just because somebody says, oh, this person's trying to take my baby, they could be telling the truth, but at the same time, you don't know if it's the other way around. You don't know if it's the other way around. This is a prime example of that. Prime example. All right, guys? All right, this is Spooky Fridays on the Saturday. Get it? On the Saturday, because yesterday was Friday, you know. Yeah, Spooky Friday. Please push the like button. All right. Oh, wait, hold on. Let's finish. Hold on. Let's finish the rest of this.
Make her feel compelled to extricate the baby from the situation. Did she seem groggy or confused? Could she have mistaken either of them for her own family members? They spent more time verifying that the baby was actually Jen's instead of focusing on the kidnapper. Her husband had caught his brother at that point, who works in an office with a lot of lawyers and connected with one ASAP. And they gave him the priceless advice to get every officer's name and badge number, to request copies of the store's security tapes right away, and to escalate the complaint higher up the chain if these officers weren't taking them seriously. Finally, Jen and Dan had enough reason to believe they were being taken seriously, and they went home. Dan was seething with rage and grappling with a feeling of helplessness.
I will be pissed.
For how little he was able to do, and has 2 cracked ribs from when the man kicked him. There were still people who stuck around to talk to the police who were giving the husband dirty looks, and one man even implored the police to involve CPS to verify that it was really their baby. So to
Oh my god, dude, you serious?
a lot skeptics, they better hope that Jen and Dan never sees them again.
Wait, this is actually based on the... Oh, shit. Oh, excuse my friends. This actually happened. See, what did I tell you? This is actually a story that actually happened. Wow, dude. Similar to what I saw. Similar. Said it was at a hospital. Got laid. All right, guys.